Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's your boy Jeremy Alexander Newsom with the most energetic and fast-paced stock review on the internet. I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. It's the SPY today. We're looking at it. The market makes spectacular new all-time highs again today. That's 3 days in a row. Thursday, Friday, and today, just crushing it. So Matt DeLong, he has exited this put sale. Congrats, Matt, for locking in a nice little game. So yeah, we had a beautiful little triangle breakout. We broke out. I have a 233.72 as a target, so we're getting pretty close. We might even be able to hit that tomorrow or Wednesday, realistically. I thought it was going to be more like a Q2 target, but I mean, hey, why not? There's either one of those. I thought that was likely going to be the case. SPY just cranking it out. Here's the Dow Jones. The DIA makes new time highs. A lot of traders in a bull put spread on the Dow. Here's the IWM, which is the Russell 2000. So the Russell, the high of today, 139.21. The high of this candle, 138.82. So the IWM also makes two all-time highs. And the Qs, which is the ETF that tracks the NASDAQ, just a reiteration, another all-time high. So the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not in bullish right now, either long-term or short-term, this is really not the time to get in. There's a lot of traders enjoying the bullish move for sure, but if you're not already in, you missed it. It's already happened. It's here. I mean, we're just continually screaming at this point. Very interesting to see what happens, and just waiting for a little bit of a pullback. So I know my good buddy Mark Ackerman out there in California, he mentioned that he's waiting for a very specific pullback on the Qs. He said he wants to pull back to about the 20 exponential moving average, which makes tons of sense. You know, so your 20 EMA is this blue line right here. So a little bit of a pullback and a dip off of that would be nice. But either way, the trend is very nice, very strong. It's hard to be a bear out there. We tried to be a bear today on ticker symbol TMUS, T-Mobile, and very nice little bearish gap and go. Just didn't actually do anything because the market was so bullish today. So we lost 0.6R on T-Mobile today. No big deal. Today was Mentorship Monday, so we got a chance and the opportunity to talk about a lot of stocks out there today. Most of them we were talking about and discussing option-relating strategies. So we're going to be continuing that in about 33 minutes as I open up the afternoon swing trading floor. So let me go ahead and look at some of the stocks that were requested between the last stock review, which is Friday, and today. Let's hop over to GoPro, GPRO, and GoPro. I know there's a few traders keeping their eyes on GoPro bullish down here. We actually were doing the exact same thing, looking, watching, waiting for it to go bullish back in late December, early January. In fact, when I was redoing the intermediate class series, I mentioned that 904 would be a great buying opportunity. And Mikey from Australia bought in some shares. I believe did a covered call, got assigned. Mike, it looks like you had the exact same chance to do that again on GoPro. So GoPro, definitely a buy low, sell high situation. You got a little bit of a hammer candle on Friday and a little bit of a gap up today. So here's what the weekly chart looks like on GoPro. Fundamentally, it's weak. I agree. Just simply keep in mind, risk to reward at the support. My good buddy Darren has himself a put sale at $8 so far. Darren, looking pretty good. Here's Seadrill, ticker symbol SDRL. And unfortunately with Seadrill, my biggest question is simply, when does this cookie go to zero? This is the weekly chart on Seadrill, and I mean, the last ditch effort on this thing is $1.80, right? So yes, this absolutely could be in a channel. And if we come over here to the daily chart, you'll notice that we had a really big gap the other day, a gap down, and we did have some good bullish volume the last 2 or 3 days. Seadrill, yes, some huge potential upside reward. We are at a very good support. We've been down here before, but realistically, if Seadrill does not close above 211 soon, it's going to be really tough to see it continuing any higher from this point. But the absolute fantastic news is, since it is at a weekly support, in my opinion, very strong level. I'll keep zooming out for you on Seadrill. We haven't really ever been this low before. So this is the weekly chart, all the way back from early 2005. So yeah, back here in February 2016 when energy started bottoming out, we're back down to that price on Seadrill. So yes, it's a buy low, sell high opportunity, but if it doesn't start bouncing soon, it's going to look rough. NVAX also requested, and this particular stock is $1.37. You'll notice along, well, it's not similar to Seadrill necessarily, but you'll notice that it has, like Seadrill, it's back down to some incredibly strong support that we've been back down here before on this biotech healthcare type of company. So if we come into a daily chart, on ticker symbol NVAX. What's interesting here is you could always consider mathematical formula. We're trading at $1.37. So let's say that your risk, what's the worst case scenario when the stock goes to zero, right? If you bought it at $1.37, and let's say in this situation your risk was $200. For anyone who wanted to trade NVAX bullish, worst case it goes to zero, right? So if you're saying, okay, I'm okay losing $200, I'm fine with that. $200 divided by $1.37 will give you 145 shares. So if you bought 145 shares, absolute worst thing that could happen, you lose $200. Best case scenario, something like this happens, it gets bought out, someone acquires it and it gaps up really strongly. It is out of support. You do have some lower highs. NVAX, a few traders keeping a close eye on that one to potentially break out as well. Here is TCRX. TCRX, not sure what the stock is, but I probably typed it in wrong. Very, very light volume, penny stock, not doing anything. THL Credit, just trading absolutely sideways, but I probably typed in the wrong ticker. Here's JCPenney, ticker symbol JCP, and JCPenney, what's interesting about this retail stock is here's a weekly chart of JCPenney. Both JCPenney and Sears getting beat up a lot recently, but since 2014, JCPenney's has been in an incredible channel. Shocking, it's back down to that support area again. Blake Anderson, Darren, great trades with your put sales on JCPenney as they sold some puts, which is a bullish strategy, and made a little bit of money on this little pop right here. So JCPenney is a buy low, sell high, longer term type of trade. The reason I'm saying longer term, just simply ask yourself how long it took the last 2 or 3 times it traded down to these levels and bounced. I mean, really the shortest time took about 3.5 months. So it could take a little bit longer if you're looking at playing it down here, but hey, it could go from 6 to 10. It's a $4 move on a $6 stock, a little bit better than a 50% gain. I'm not that great at math, but I'm pretty decent to know that this is a good buy low sell high area, and on the daily chart, looks like a little bit of a double bottom opportunity. Now, I will say personally, I'm not going to take that trade on JCPenney. I'm not a big fan of the stock fundamentally. I don't ever go to JCPenney to actually buy any clothing. That doesn't mean that you're wrong if you do. Right? That's just simply me being eccentric and weird. You guys all know that's already a thing anyway. So there's some stocks, there's some sectors, there's some companies I just don't like to trade. JCPenney is one of them. It's not really sexy or alluring to me, but a few of you do very well on this one. So you do you, boo-boo. Make that paper. Here's Lending Club, which is a stock and a company that I do like as long as a product. And Lending Club continuing higher. We made a new 52-week high today on ticker symbol LC. Trading into this big resistance. Earnings right around the corner on Lending Club. And what I'm hoping happens from here is I hope we gap out of this. Nice higher low, good resistance. I'm hoping we get a gap action. And then from there, a trade down and a bounce. I do like Lending Club long term, and I add to that as often as I can. Here is the daily chart, and it looks good. So, back when we were buying way back in May of last year, around $4 and some change, we're up $2 and some change since then. So about a 50-ish% growth in Lending Club in less than a year. Not too shabby, but I think likely it will continue higher. So let's look at some losers that I'm battling with right now. Walgreens Boots Alliance. I had a bear call spread. Bear call spread on Walgreens. I had the 83.84 expiring this Friday, and it looked great until yesterday's candle. So yesterday being Friday, once it broke out of that resistance, my analysis was, all right, here's the deal. It's breaking out. You have a bunch of white candles in a row. What am I going to do? Well, when it retests, bunch of white candles, when it retests, I'm going to exit that spread. So exactly what I did earlier today. We were updating it in TradingView. We're updating the traders who were in that trade. I'm like, hey guys, we're in a bull put spread, so we were in an iron condor on it. Bull put spread expiring this week should be fine. The bear call spread, I did exit for a loss for sure, but now I'm in some March week 4 $84 calls. I'm sorry, I have $85 calls in here. So $84 calls on Walgreens, expecting it to trade into about 85. That doesn't mean that it's going to, but I do like the lower shadow on it today. I do like the higher low and the higher high. So if Walgreens is breaking above these long-term moving averages and just pops a little bit, I'll exit those calls for a profit, and then overall be break even. Worst case scenario, lose small, or maybe even win just a little bit on Walgreens. Don't know what I'm going to do on Lockheed Martin though. So I had a bull put spread on Lockheed Martin, and then I turned that into a bear call spread, completing the iron condor. So now I'm into the upside range of my bear call spread, losing money on Lockheed. Nothing terrible though. A bunch of white candles in a row. I'm going to be watching for this week to hopefully retest some. Doesn't mean that it's going to, but I am trapped in this situation. So keep that in mind, because if I'm trapped in a trade, that could give a lot of other traders an opportunity to look to get in after it pulls back and bounces. So Lockheed Martin, I'm watching and waiting for an unravel. An exit. I'm not going to unravel the spread since it expires this week. But if it can pull back sometime tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll look to exit it and then potentially buy some calls, just like on Walgreens, to benefit from the upside. Here's Procter & Gamble. We are in on a bullish swing trade on Procter & Gamble. Today's candle looks good. We got in back at 87.06. We got triggered in on the 1st of February. Our stop was 85.91. We're sitting in that trade pretty, holding on tight, waiting for it to do its thing. We're also in on ticker symbol MOMO. Momo. This is one of my more fine trade setups, actually. I got really lucky on this one, guys. We got triggered into the exact penny on Friday. So our limit buy was 23.69, and the low of Friday was 23.65. That's 4 pennies. Holla at your boy. Momo, great gap today. We're up about an R on that trade, hoping that that can continue as well. So far, looks pretty good. And my good friend Brad is in some put sales at 24, also expiring this week. And we got 2 others I want to look at. This is BIOC. BIOC, I believe, is for Bobby. And this particular trade, Biocept, we have a white candle gapping up. So this is a recent move on BIOC. We have a big upper shadow, lower high coming in on this particular stock. Looks like one of these very similar, very common pump and dump type of trades where trade just goes lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. Look at this. I mean, just gets beat up and demoralized, and then you get a giant little pop, and then it kind of trades back down. The difference between this, though, is you do have some sensational volume the last few days on BIOC. So in regards to watching this one, I think it's an absolute valuable opinion to watch this trade. I like the retest gap, white candle gapping up. Let it retest in the moving averages and look to buy the dip around $1.80. And then probably have the stop potentially just right below this low and see if it can bounce from there. So that's BIOC. And last but not least on my list for right now is Facebook, ticker symbol FB. We do have a bear call spread on Facebook above its all-time high, 136, 137, expiring this week. I got the exit price at 135.82. I'll be watching that pretty closely. But if we can take out the low of today, 133.68 and 133.70, if we take out those 2 lows, I think this trade will work out okay. It's very interesting to see the market just absolutely screaming right now, and there's very little bearish market, very little bearish trades working at all. So that's why Walgreens and Facebook, we're just kind of holding on to them to see what happens. But I'll be interested to see. We likely will get a pullback at some point soon. I hope I don't have to exit or unravel again on this particular bear call spread, because that would be relatively annoying. But there are tons of put sales expiring this week that I'm kind of keeping my eyes on. They're pretty far away. RIG is one of them. RIG. There's a lot of traders in on this one. So far looking good. British Petroleum, it's going to get close, but it's not looking bad. I wouldn't mind buying at 34.50 anyway, but it's down there. Looks good. Nice move. US Steel, a lot of traders making some money on US Steel. My next target on this particular stock on US Steel is the top of this red line, $41. We probably hit that tomorrow or Wednesday. Great bullish gap and go today. Congrats for all the traders who played X bullish today. Great looking move. Pretty pumped about it. Folks, thanks so much for watching the Monday Real Life Stock Review. As you know, if you have any requests, I do take those. You can email them to me, jeremy@reallifetraining.com. You can message them to me on Twitter, @NewsomNuggets. You can even post them in the comment section below. Our mission at Real Life Trading is to enrich lives. Thank you for all the warm wishes, comments, tips, suggestions, emails, text messages, tweets, links and posts, Facebook likes. Thanks for everyone that sent some messages regarding Ashley joining the Real Life Trading team. She's really excited today. Today was her first day on the job, and somehow tomorrow she already negotiated a 2-week paid vacation to Aruba for Valentine's Day. Don't know how she did that, but she's an incredible supermodel who also happens to trade exceptionally well. So ladies and gentlemen, The point of the life is, right, be happy, be generous, figure out what it is that you want to do while you're here on this beautiful planet, and then just simply go do it. It's actually pretty easy. Figure out what you want to do, and then go do that. Be happy, be generous. I will see you Wednesday, and until then, remember, love life, live life, and trade it. You guys rock. Bye.